We were live from AEW Dynamite here in Kansas City. We have tons to tell you about the good, the bad, the news about Moxley, and how we're praying for him. This is Total Spotfest.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to Total Spotfest. This is JJ Brownlee, accompanied by Jamie Faulkner. We just got back from Dynamite here in Kansas City, and boy, do we got a lot to talk about. So we have a couple other notes too, but we're gonna spend a good chunk talking about our Dynamite experience, and there are things we want to talk about. The show was fantastic. There's a couple gripes I want to say that Jamie and I have. Nothing serious. Nothing crazy, just some odd things. You know, we've gone to a lot of wrestling shows, big promotion wrestling shows, along with independents, locals. The whole, there was a few things that were just a little weird this time around. So we'll talk about it here. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. Drop us a comment down below if you want to join the conversation. If you're on YouTube, while you're down there, hit that like button. It does help us out quite a bit. And subscribe if you want to hear more. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast provider, you can join the conversation by getting in touch with us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. And as always, check out our website, www.totalspotfest.com. We've got the merch table there. Spoiler, we got the merch table there where we have lots of different shirts available.
I think we need to unleash that one shirt you made specifically for me. I think that one needs to be unleashed upon the world.
Okay. Well, I think I will do that here this weekend. So that sounds like a plan. I made a shirt for Jamie. If you haven't been to our merch table, go check it out this weekend here. You can get, like Jamie's wearing, our Spotfest Club shirt. You can get our heel shit shirt. Obligatory black pro wrestling tee is on there. So if you need a black t-shirt, we got you covered. Jamie wanted a Lion Tamer shirt, and so I appeased him.
I did.
And made him one. It was really just meant for him. I'll put it on there. So yeah. So if you want to be the troll like Jamie is, go check out our website. It's cool.
Or if you think the Lion Tamer is one of the greatest wrestling submissions of all time, which it is, then get the shirt. Simple as that.
I mean, you're not wrong in how good that move is. It's a fantastic move. I don't hold it as high a regard as you do, of course. But
in the pantheon of submissions, it's number one.
I just like, and we could debate that later, but I just like the idea of at the next Journey Pro show, or Dynamic Wrestling Federation, whichever, wherever we happen to see Jeremy Wyatt next. If he sees just like a dozen Lion Tamer shirts staring at him, just to pick away, because you've gotten under the skin. You've cracked the surface. You haven't penetrated the surface. You cracked the surface. Mm-hmm. So it took you 3 years. In another year or two, I mean, he might be like Lion Tamer PTSD. Hear the word, just go crazy. We'll see.
That's my goal. So, that is my goal.
Help us make that goal a reality, folks.
Please.
We'll talk about Dynamite in just a moment here, because there are other happenings in the wrestling world. The first one I know you wanted to kind of start off with is the big news. If you had your eyes awake, if you had your eyes open, you've seen this somewhere online, I'm sure. But Jamie, why don't you start us off with the big news of the week?
Yeah. So the big news came out today.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. Sorry, dang it. Sorry, I was still technically, we record on Wednesday nights. But so it came out on Wednesday that Jon Moxley was going to be taking some time off because he's checking himself into alcohol rehabilitation center. And the amount of love and support that has been going that man's way and to Renee's way has just been amazing. And speaking from somebody who is firsthand seen somebody go to rehab, I've had family member go to rehab,
right,
a couple times. for different addictions. And, one thing is very hard to do is to admit that you have a problem and admit that you need help. And for him to take that courageous step only makes me like the man that much more. It's just one of those things that it's so nice that even the internet wrestling community, which I know we're a part of, and there are a bunch of just dirty, nasty trolls who just like
It can be toxic
it
at
can
times.
be
It definitely
incredibly
can.
toxic, and the amount of love and support that's being shown this man's way is heartwarming. It just makes me feel
Yeah.
great that there are good people in this world that do want to see somebody succeed. Because I like Jon Moxley, you like Jon Moxley,
Absolutely.
and to see him be healthy, take the right steps to be healthy, not only for Renee and for their baby, but him as well. It just makes my heart just so full of love, and I send him all the love and support I possibly can, because I know firsthand what he's going through. Actually, I know from Renee's side what what they are going through, because you want them to be better.
The second hand. Yeah, this is probably the worst time for him to take a step back. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He literally just had like this. Actually, I don't think it's in now. I think it's tomorrow. It hits shelves and whatever. His book, his autobiography,
Yes.
right? He's got a book that's it's gonna be on the New York Times bestseller list. Pretty short order, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's got his book coming out. There's a big thing with that. Plus, he's knee deep in the middle of ramp up. He's got a big character change angle going, and a potential, big match against Bryan Danielson at a pay-per-view, one of the key pay-per-views here in a week's time. All the things. This is the worst quote unquote time, with everything happening for him to do that. But I think it speaks more to his character that he did, because you can't. Like you said, if you need help and you realize it, that's the big first one, right? Knowing you need help, and then not being afraid to go out and get it. And you got to do it for yourself. You got to do it for your family. So we send all of our thoughts and prayers and love, and not just in like the typical politician bullshit way, like actual thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Good vibes, good juju magumbo over to the Moxley clan. Everybody has been remarkably very nice about it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just very, very heartwarming for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now, along that level, I know that because recently there's been that whole the Tag Me In campaign came in, for not just but for mental health and personal well-being. Let's put it that way. And especially that hit hard right on the stems of Daphne's unfortunate passing, right? And I think that there's a lot more visibility, and I think that this serves a good bridge for those within the industry, because this is a very old school macho industry, even if you're a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, take for example, like Ruby Soho. Hey, Ruby. She delayed, she had terrible shoulders for like 7 years, right? Since she basically first started breaking into like real serious wrestling. She screwed up her shoulders and just kept going. And she said she took like a year and a half off, got them fixed. And then I remember her like doing an interview shortly after being released, talking about that emotion, because she sat for like a year or so, but she had both her shoulders. She had never had her shoulders fully working properly. And why didn't you get it done earlier? Well, the same sort of thing. It's like, I never, the rat race you got the time. I can't do this. Now is not the right time. Can't focus on myself. I got things to do. And, I think in the wake of the Tag Me In thing, we're seeing other people, kind of be completely honest and upfront. And I appreciate that. I hope Moxley serves as a example to anybody else out there that has those issues. I know there's other ones like W. Morrissey over in Impact. He's very forthright about his past and bad times, and that he had to go to rehab too. He's an alcoholic, and so just a couple days ago, the Blade from Butcher and Blade. Blade. I always get the names.
Yeah,
mixed
he's
up.
the Blade.
It's like Yeah, the guy who's married to the bunny, not the guy who's the guitarist from Every Time I Die. Okay, so he opened up about his past, dealing with depression and anxiety and all these things. So yeah, it's not something that you want to kind of really get into because it doesn't play into the whole professional wrestling sphere. But I think that that's changing and changing for the better. So best of wishes to everyone.
Absolutely.
There are a couple little notes here. Scheduling note. Quick reminder, just in case if you missed our last episode or if you didn't remember. Starting next week, we're actually moving our podcast to be a once weekly podcast. So every Thursday we'll release an episode, and we're going to see how that goes here with the holidays and everything coming up. We're going to try and combine them, but not have 3 hour long. So be like an hour and a half. It'd be a little bit longer than our normal, but having just a once weekly session. So
yeah.
FYI, just be a reminder that there will be no podcast coming out Tuesday. So with that note, we'll do our numbers then every Thursday. I wanted to say Wednesday because we record on Wednesday.
Yes.
So I have a couple numbers here from this past week. We'll give you more then next week. The post Halloween Havoc NXT 2.0. It was down. So Halloween Havoc, they had 746, and now they're back down to 631.
Yeah, I knew it was the Halloween Havoc, 100%.
1000% correct, and that's just it's back to where they were because before Halloween Havoc, 606, 632, 632, 655. They're kind of settling in that 600 range.
Yep.
The only real notable things that I saw made mentioned about that, there was a stare down between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They were in passing. I think you could use that, but with the new direction and the new kind of aesthetic. And okay, we talked about this. I told you the words that came out of my mouth were that I don't hate. I actually kind of like the NXT 2.0 logo.
I don't.
I want to revise that slightly because I've had more time to dwell on it.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind the shape of the logo. I think if you would have kept that in the black and gold branded style, right, instead of this 1993 Kid and Play Zubaz splish splosh, I think it would have been a perfect rebrand, right? I think because it's the evolution. It's not this whole changeover. Anywho, sorry, I dive. I don't think. What are your opinion? Ciampa and Gargano going back to their classic rivalry in the world of this new NXT 2.0. Do you think it could go? Because they can always go anywhere. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But do you think would it feel out of place? Because that's what I kind of felt with that when just seeing that little clip on Twitter. I was like, it just feels out of place.
Yeah. So. It kind of feels like, and I know we're going to talk about this, but the whole Eddie Kingston CM Punk thing, it feels forced. Like, hey, let's just do this because we know we think fans will like this again. Let's just do this.
Okay.
It just doesn't have flow. Like it didn't have this eventual thing build up to these two were on a collision course, anything like that. There was nothing like that. It's just out of nowhere. Oh, hey. Johnny, stare at Tommaso again.
Right. Well, it wasn't quite so. They're not insinuating they're going because they're actually in separate feuds going on. But as Tommaso was finishing his promo and Johnny was coming to the ring for his, that was the passing and the kind of a. It was what everybody focused on because it's Ciampa and Gargano.
Yeah, but how long is Gargano going to be around?
That's a great question. Great question, no answer for that. I did see as well that Io Shirai's in line. She's going to be challenging next probably for the NXT title against Mandy Rose. Mandy. Zoe Stark, I read somewhere that she's legitimately injured. So
Who is?
Zoe Stark.
Oh, from her botch.
I don't know what it was from, but
Because her leg looked like it kind of went woo, when she did that botch.
so there was apparently on NXT this past week there was a kayfabe, her being jumped by Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, but that was to kayfabe the injury. It was later noted that she was taken to a medical facility. Stark is said to be legitimately injured. This angle was done. There's no word on what sort of injury, how long she may be out, or where the injury came from.
Interesting.
I mean, she did have, there were a couple little botches in that ladder match from Halloween Havoc. So
hers was definitely the most noticeable.
Oh, I like that match. I legitimately did. I said it before. I legitimately liked Halloween Havoc. There's parts of NXT that are warming me over. I think that's because it is being run by produced by HBK. So,
It's
whatever.
because he's a naughty boy.
He's not a boy toy though.
Mm-mm. He's a sexy boy.
Moving right along. I know where you're headed. All right. So, also Raw this past week, Drew, it's a deceiving headline that I opened up when I was looking up for numbers for this week. Raw draws best viewership since the draft episode, and you might think that, that's a great thing, right? Which, I mean, higher viewership is always good things.
Yeah.
Since the draft episode, that was like a month ago,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, okay, we're in a microcosm here. What did they draw? They drew 1.689.
Dick.
Which is up from 1.658. Now I'm like, okay, yes, I understand that, but that's the way you're selling that is just off.
Again, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, you cannot keep blaming Monday Night Football for that, because I look at this overall trend here from before Monday Night Football, and you're talking 1.7, 1.7, 1.5, 1.4, 1.6, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7. So mighty have fallen hard.
They're not the flagship anymore. They are not the flagship.
They're absolute. And I don't think there's any sort of coyness in WWE circles about that at all anymore. I think everybody realizes, everybody knows, everybody says, and everybody is in agreement that SmackDown's a flagship show. SmackDown's on network TV.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown has their biggest star, arguably, in Roman Reigns, right? Mm-hmm. It has all their attention more than Raw does, which, the best thing that could happen to Raw is that they make it back to 2 hours and, force them to condense, because then they could actually have, a shot at better storylines. I feel like with the 3-hour thing, they're just cramming so much shit in there because you have 3 hours to fill. Now they've been doing that for what, 12 years now? When did they start doing 3-hour Raws? It was post merger, right?
Yeah, it was post merger. It was, I think,
the Ruthless Aggression era, or is it after Ruthless Aggression?
PG era, the beginning of the PG era.
It's beginning of PG era. Okay.
Because that's what the kids want. The kids wanted not 2, but yes, 3 hours of Raw.
Ooh, and whatever. So that's the WWE notes for the week, guys. Give us a thought down below. It's like, do you think there's any saving Raw? Does going back to 2 hours help? Or are you just so far gone you don't care anymore? Do you actually like it? Be honest. Give us a tweet. Give us a comment. Let us know, because I'll catch some things here and there. I just said for NXT, like I said, it's like I'll catch things here and there where I'm like, that's not bad. I enjoyed that, right? And I want to, because of the talent they have there. I want to like it. I watch wrestling every night. I pretty much do that anyway. So I don't know. Give us a comment. Let us know what you think.
So. So
ahead,
one thing though I did want to talk about, since we were talking about NXT, there are a few people that we should have notes on for contracts expiring. So
yes.
So one of the people, as we all know, like when we're talking WWE, is Kevin Owens. Everybody's like all the Mount
Right.
Rushmore references. Even Big E dropped one, which I was like,
Shit,
damn.
Kevin Owens even semi-addressed it from what I
Yeah.
saw on his was it Raw or whenever he appeared, wherever
Yeah.
it was last.
It shocked the hell out of me that Big E even called it out. So the clock's
Well,
on him, but not Big E. Big E's Big E.
Biggie gave a very direct tribute in inside promo to Brody Lee when he died.
Yes, that's true.
Same thing for Breeze when he got fired. He had a fan, and he said how much he just loves that nice, cool breeze. Can't get enough of that cool breeze. The backstage promo he cut.
Yeah.
And so he can get it. New Day gets away with stuff.
Yeah.
So yes. But I hear you. Sorry, keep going.
So Johnny Gargano is also on that list that we know about.
We heard it, yeah. Which is I don't. And here's my thing: if they want Johnny to stay, I think he'll stay.
Yeah,
I'm 100% confident.
but another name that is on there that actually there's a little fire to that flame is one cool Kyle O'Reilly.
Ooh.
So Kyle is set to expire at the end of next month. So at the end of December. He's set to expire. And one of the things, too, that happened that I didn't know about, but he was on the graphic for NXT 2.0. They had
the promo graphic for like a show or for just the show in general?
The show in general. So like it used to have Tommaso Ciampa over here, and then it had Dakota Kai and Candice LeRae on one side, and then Raquel Gonzalez, and then you had Kyle O'Reilly, and then you had Legado del Fantasma. Legado.
Yeah, Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah. Then now the new graphic has Tommaso Ciampa, Mandy Rose, and Elena Black, Cora Jade. Sorry. Then still Raquel Gonzalez, then Braun Breaker, and the new North American title champ. I can't think of his name right now. Whatever that guy is.
Carmelo Hayes.
Thank you, Carmelo Hayes. So he's off of it. He gone.
Well, is that the only kindling to this fire?
No.
Just the fact that he's off the graphic?
No, and there's also been
because
talks.
I mean that's pretty light, to be honest with you. I want to see him out of there, but yeah.
No, like there was Bobby Fish had an interview about him as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they're like, he even says, I don't know, it's hard to say. I look at a guy like Bryan Danielson, and I look at similar yet so different, like Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan. How they're similar but so different. And he's like, would those two possibly come back and tag again? He's like, I wouldn't deny that. I'd be for it and appreciative of it.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a shot.
Ooh.
So I thought you might appreciate that nugget.
I definitely appreciate that because I have had that thought in passing, especially when seeing Bobby Fish look good and actually kind of get over enough for where he's at his level, right?
Yeah.
He's not CM Punk, he's not Bryan Danielson, he's not Adam Cole, but he's he's mid guy, but he's getting over as that, and it's fine. I think he's in a good spot, but I just feel like the possibilities, like Red Dragon, which is what their name was back in New Japan or Ring of everywhere they were called. Oh, they went by Red Dragon at one point in time. O'Reilly and Fish. So having them back together would be great. They both were so much better back together. We've talked extensively back when we covered NXT a bunch, 1.0 version, about our hatred for the cool Kyle gimmick, right? Kyle O'Reilly is a singles competitor. He's got the wrestling ability, but it just nothing else works. Especially when it worked so well as being part of the Undisputed Era and part of a tag team with Bobby Fish. So have that again would be glorious. So let's see what happens. While we got that news, and that's very interesting. I did not know about O'Reilly's contract. There's actually a few other contracts that are out and about up there. So Impact Wrestling is rumored to be releasing 5 of their roster or parting ways, whatever, however it slices out, with 5 stars on their roster. There are 5 people who are recently removed from the staff page, or the not the staff page. I'm back at work now talking about automotive dealership websites. Sorry. The roster page. I didn't even work today, and I'm still whatever. Their roster page. First one, no surprise, Tommy Dreamer, right? After everything came out, Playing Right from Hell, the whole 9 yards. He kind of became persona non grata with Impact, so whatever. So Tommy Dreamer's on there. Petey Williams is on there as well. Petey actually it was said that he has recently had a tryout with WWE as a producer. I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. I think it was last week. He was behind the scenes at SmackDown, it was reported. So he's trying out as a producer. So he might be looking to move to a backstage role, right? So he was removed. TJP was removed. That's not a terrible surprise either when you think about it. He's been doing so much in New Japan, a lot more in New Japan, and other little indie promotions. I think he might have been in a GCW show if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but he was. Thank you. And he is part of Will Ospreay's United Empire now. So that's not really a surprise. He's kind of moved more into that full time, so not a big deal. And then the two that were surprising was No Way, formerly No Way Jose, who just got there. Like he debuted at Slammiversary, right?
Yeah.
And he teamed up with Falaba a little bit. He did some singles things here and there. He was in a couple different matches, and then just kind of disappeared, right? So, okay, that was big to do about nothing, and also big to do about nothing. And this one name I know struck you really odd, Taylor Wilde.
Yeah, like she just got back,
and they made a big deal about her getting back.
Yeah. What?
I know that she had like an extended break there in the middle of this. I don't know what that was. It was a personal thing, health issue, border patrol, because she is Canadian, I mean, getting back and forth was challenging for a hot minute there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it almost feels like ever since she kind of got back from that, her second return, if you would, it just kind of felt like she wasn't as over with the people running the show.
Yeah. She probably pissed a few people off, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. And this is a terrible analogy to use, and we do wish this person the best because she's going through some things and some troubles as well. But Kylie Ray, Kylie Ray kind of left them hanging because she was supposed to be part of their show. It kind of felt the same way in a different way, but had the same sort of result. Taylor kind of left them hanging story-wise. So who knows? Might be some people out there. Another one, too, that's interesting that I heard that I didn't know about is a New Japan contract that's expiring soon. So Juice Robinson from FinJuice fame, right, and singles fame as well. Also, the newly engaged Juice Robinson, congratulations, engaged to Tony Storm, is his New Japan contract is expiring early next year. Apparently, end of January 22 is what it said. So I don't know what that means. I know FinJuice has been a lot more prevalent on Impact.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, with getting married to somebody who is US based in Tony Storm in SmackDown.
Catering.
Well, wherever she is, she's officially on that roster. To my knowledge,
she's on the catering.
She's not getting an opportunity.
You know what? We should start a catering roster for WWE and just see how amazing that catering roster really is.
Yeah, we might fuck around with that. That may entail us actually watching more WWE though.
Yeah, I don't know if I could hate watch it anymore.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Because I mean, before I was the only one doing it,
'Cause I gave
and
up.
you sons of bitches were just not chipping at all. So that's why I find it too.
Well, I told you, I'm like, they did one thing. They did us dirty that one time. I'm like, I'm out. And then,
Yeah. Well, I was still, and I was holding on. I was the eternal optimist. I was. They can get it. It's okay. They have the pieces. They have all the stuff. They released Ruby. Hey, Ruby. They released Ruby, and I just said, "Fuck them. I'm out.
yeah.
No more." So we'll see what happens.
Welcome to the real.
I tell you what. If you really want to punish us, if you want us to do a catering roster, let us know. If we get enough responses to that, get enough people tweeting at us, enough comments to say, "Let's do it," we'll go. But if we don't get those responses, no, it's a good idea. All right, so those were my news and my notes that I had for everything wrestling-wise this week. Covered the big story. Once again, send our love out. I don't know what that was. Send our love out to Jon Moxley. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Yes, let's get into Dynamite. So Dynamite was awesome. The whole thing was fun. They taped Dark Elevation there, and we went through.
Do you want to? Hold on a second, Jamie. Do you want to start with the before stuff? Kind of get the bad out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get our gripes, because we have some gripes. AEW, we're not just the fanboys that they can't do no wrong.
But
let's talk about it.
Okay,
it's not bad. It's not that
okay,
bad. Guys, really.
yeah. The production of the show was fine. The show was great, but beforehand, we signed up for the meet and greets because they had meet and greets, and I did Adam Hangman Page because he was available, because I was like, hey, I might as well get the soon to be world champion signature. I thought that was gonna be a great idea.
Right.
JJ did Anna Jay.
I'm trying to complete my Dark Order signed T-shirt by all the Dark Order.
Yes. So we paid for that today, and then we got in line, and everything was like with that. Then we also got diapers because they're doing the diaper drive for 10 and Alex Reynolds. So we'll put a pin in those guys for just a second. Boop.
So there's two separate meet and greets.
Two separate meet
So
and
there's
greets.
the one we paid for, which, by the way, it only got announced like a day ago, like the day before, and then it says it goes on sale day of at noon, and I'm like, that's not. If you know it's going to happen, when you announce it, you can sell. Once you put it on sale right then, right? They announced it like the night before, like, it's going on sale noon tomorrow. And I'm like, just there were many people there that were in line to do the meet and greet, and like, oh, I got to buy a ticket for this ahead of time? Yeah, you can't buy it at the door.
Yeah. It's not just a free thing.
Well, they thought they just paid for it as they went in, is what they thought.
Yeah. Well, that's a negative, Ghost Rider. So we paid, and then like we had to wear a mask around them, which is totally fine. That did not bother me one bit.
That's cool.
But then when we get there, and it was cold, and not like temperature wise. It just felt like we were herded in like cattle. And I felt bad for the talent, because the talent was trying to be nice with us, but they had to be like, go, and JJ, like, I took the picture of JJ with Anna Jay, and then he's like, hey, could you sign this shirt? Because I'm trying to get all the Dark Order. And the guy right by was like, you can't do personal items. It's like, oh my goodness. She's like, yeah, I'll get in trouble if I
And
do.
she was even to me like real nice. Like, I'm sorry, they're not letting me do that. I really, I wish I could.
Yeah.
She was very nice and polite about it.
Yeah. And then then I did Adam Hangman Page, which is great. He called me a sport monkey, or spot monkey, because of the Spotfest shirt, which I thought was great. And, I congratulated him on his baby, and he was quick with me, but he was cordial. It wasn't their fault. It just felt very cold and just unorganized. Honestly, it
was the unorganization is the part that really got me, because first of all, we get there at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. The dark taping starts at 6, and then you have the actual live show at 7, right? So we get there at 4 p.m. because 4:30 is the time for this meet and greet. Okay, the Dark Order meet and greet with Ted and Reynolds is supposed to be at 5, right? So 4:35. So we get there at 4, so we get in line, right? Now, I don't know if for those of you who are not from Kansas City listening to us, you're not familiar with the arena, I'm going to sum it up real quick for you. So it's built right off of 2 highways, okay? You have 2 highways, and there's the arena. There's 2 main entrances physically into the building for the most part, right? The backside's all like, where the trucks back in for like, equipment and deliveries and shit. So you have like eastward facing, there's like your main entrance, if you would, right? And then south facing, there's another like main entrance. And then on the north side, there's a little like smoker's patio thing, and then that's how you get in, right? So we're like, well, where do we go for this? And so everybody's lined up at the main entrance. That's the only place we see anybody. So like, well, we got to go over there because nobody's going to be here this early. It's not for the meet and greet, right? Well, some people were there that early just to kind of be in line, but we line up there, and then everybody around us, we find out somehow that, oh, we actually need to be on the other side of the building.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we walk over there, and then a guy comes out after we've been there for a while, and it kind of just like says, you make sure you guys don't have anything metal, make sure you have no pocket knives in. And I'm like, I've been inside an arena, I know what that. Okay, whatever, but thank you. Yeah. And you gotta wear a mask. We're like, okay, cool, fine, we got masks, we're good. And then he's like, we'll be getting you in here in just a minute. Okay, sure. So that 5 minutes later, they let us in, and then we have to go through. Here's the weird thing: we have to go through metal detector and do the whole thing in 9 yards and everything. We don't actually get scanned in, so we can only like stay in the area of like where this meet and greet is. At All Out or any like the big fan fest that they do, they have like these nice roped off like lines. There's the desks that are kind of petitioned off from each other, so you have the talent that's there separate. They had 2 tall tables it's over by one of the little like dining places inside the arena, right? The something or another grill, right? So they had like 2 like pub tables out there. One that Anna was standing by, and one that Hangman was standing by, and the security guards over there by Anna. So we kind of got in, we got our picture, and then we were just left alone. And it's like, do I just walk right up to her? Is there a line here? We were just a herd of cats in the middle of it. And I'm like, where's your organization at? I mean, it felt so cold, and it just was like,
yeah. Then
bye. It's like,
then the major disorganization happened, because then we're standing there. One guy tells us, just stand here. They'll come by. They'll scan your tickets, and you're able to get in. It's like, awesome. Well, then,
cool, right?
3 minutes later, another person goes, hey, if you're going to be doing if you are doing the diaper drive, you need to exit the building and go around to the other side and enter that way. So we've already entered the building, went through metal detectors, so we had to leave and go back around to gate 1 in order to do the other one.
Right. We could just go through the concourse up to where we needed to be. No. We had to go out the door because they never scanned us in for the event. They could have scanned us in right there when we first got in. Why didn't you do that, right? If you say, hey, you can't go to the concourse till this certain time. Cool, sweet. We got a little bar thing. We can hang out here at the bar, right? Awesome. Yeah. But no, we had to go out and then go around, and it's like, well, now the line's like all the way through the parking lot, right? So we get in the line in the parking lot, and then we're like, and then we see people, everybody has diapers just kind of scattered throughout, and they're like, there's another group of people that have diapers in that small line up there. And I was like, is there really a separate line that we don't know about that we need to go into? And there was. So we eventually get up there too. So we're in the small line. And then they open the doors. All the doors except for the door in front of where our diaper line is. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what are we even doing here? Come on. And like, oh, I'm sorry. You guys have to actually move over. We only have these 3. And I'm like, just, whatever. So we get in. We get the diapers. We get the picture. Cool. Right? So then we decide to go over to the merch table.
Well, hold on. So I want to take the pin out. Okay, I want to take the pin out of Alex Reynolds. And
yeah, sorry. You did.
Those guys
I forgot you put a pin there. Sorry.
Totally redeemed.
100%.
Because they were free basically. We just had to bring diapers, which I forgot my diapers. So I had to buy some diapers on Amazon. But that's here or there.
You got double diaper. You got no babies, so you just got extra diapers.
Yeah. So anyway, they were really cool, very nice. That
Absolutely.
was way
Absolutely.
more organized, and that was pleasant. Like I spent $50 just so I could be
Mm-hmm.
Adam Hangman Page, and it was for 10 seconds, and it was very quick, very like I felt used. Okay, I felt used. Um,
we got some
yep.
pictures, and then we got an 8x10, then we got a sign. That for I don't feel like it was worth it. Like the fan fest meet and greets were worth it in my opinion. We gotta sit there, not a ton of time. We can sit there. We could speak a couple words back and forth to the person. They could sign an additional thing. That's why I had my Dark Order shirt started. I have this Join the Dark Order shirt that I've worn before. I'm trying to get all the Dark Order members to sign it, and then I can frame it and have a cool little thing, right? I got Uno, I got Stu, I got 10 coincidentally, and I've got 5 on there. I didn't even bring it in to ask Reynolds because of what happened with Anna Jay. I'm just like, but it's like for these Dynamite things, they're kind of last second. They throw them together. I don't understand why it's not just a flat fee. Come here, you can meet all the people, get a little picture, and get a couple signatures. Like if it was $40-$50, right? And there was Anna Jay and her and him, and even there was another person who would have been great, but just the two of them, I would have felt that would have been a better use of money. Like, okay, I gotta at least get an autograph, get a picture with a couple of them. I didn't get to meet them.
Yeah.
We get we got greeted and then we got shooed along.
Yeah.
Enough bitching about that.
So that was our one.
Yeah. We're
this.
Well,
that was
next
the one gripe. This is the next gripe. So then we walk over. Like, okay, well, let's go get merch. We're hoping they have the tie-dye Dark Order shirts because that's what we both wanted. We wanted the tie-dye Dark Order shirts, which Alex Reynolds was wearing one, and it looked amazing. And it just drove.
And I know for a fact from watching these AEW related vlogs over the past few weeks and months here since Grand Slam that the AEW tie-dye the tie-dye Dark Order shirt is a stadium exclusive for Dynamite and or Rampage, right? You have to go to one of their shows to get them. Just like there's a black CM Punk shirt with just 2 lightning bolt hands, That's a show exclusive, right? You can't get on PW or Pro Wrestling Tees. You have to go to the show. So I know that that's a show exclusive. I've seen it for the past several weeks on Dynamite. They do a pan, I pause it, I see it in the merch table there. Show exclusive, $30. Tie-dye Dark Order shirt.
Yep, and I would have been an owner.
Yeah.
So we stay in line. The line is atrocious, like always.
Single merch table for the entire arena.
Yeah,
just one.
Yeah, so that's one thing. So then I'm like, you know what? Hey, stay in line. I'll see what they have. I just want to see if they have it. I
Right.
go up there and then I look and then I come back and this is exactly what I said. Like they have nothing. They have I was there at Dynamite, not even the city that you're at. Just I was at Dynamite. They have the
Digital one.
All Elite Wrestling shirt. Then they had the CM Punk black one. They definitely had that. Then they had an Elite shirt.
Right.
They had 4 black T-shirts. That's it. And then the figures that you could buy and stuff like that, but that was it.
Well, they had Adam Cole. They had 5.
Oh yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah, there were some figures. There was the same 2 hats that they sell online anyway. You get some stickers. There was the pin back for a couple of trinket-y things, right? The thing is, you go to a wrestling show, you get a shirt. There's other stuff you can buy, but a shirt, right? We haven't gone to a wrestling show, a pro wrestling show, Jamie and myself. I can't remember a time since we've been going that I have not left with a shirt.
Yeah.
There may have been one WWE time, but I think pretty much I think the NXT show we went to, the house show, I didn't get a shirt. But every other time, definitely, yeah, always, right? I left today without a shirt because I was like, and I didn't. I was like, that guy who was in shock when Jamie came back. I go, what do you mean they don't have anything? This is a Dynamite. They have merch. We are a fucking T-shirt company, right? So I go up and look at it. Jimmy goes up again, gets pictures. Then I go up and look at it, and he stays in line. And sure as shit, 4 or 5 black shirts. That's it. Take your pick. Have fun.
It was like, and the thing was too, man, like we went to All Out, and there were 20 different shirts you could buy. 20, which I know All Out's different because it's like their granddaddy. I appreciate that.
Well, okay, let's not even do that. Last time Dynamite was here at this very same arena in Kansas City, it was a single table still, but it's about 3 times the size. They had, that's where I got my baseball shirt. Your daughter's got the little orange thumbs. There was orange cat. I mean, there was like 15 or 20 shirts you could get there, right?
Yeah, at least.
There's a ton of stuff. And this time, not so much. It just it's the weirdity thing. So I'm just gonna bitch and whine about that. You know, I know I'm being petty, but anyway, that kind of put a little damper. But
yeah.
But we got to the good of the matter then.
Yeah, because then we decide, you know what? We decide
let's get food.
Yeah, let's get food. Let's just go get food. And then we were
let's get overpriced stadium food. Let's go.
So then we get in line, and then we're like, oh wait, look over there, like, and that's right by where our section was. And like, no one's there because they had the stupid little kiosk. So we go to the stupid little kiosk, and who shows up in line to get a couple hot dogs? None other than Mark Henry shows up to get 2 hot dogs, and he couldn't figure out the damn thing. He's like, this thing's stupid. Like, he got all loud about it. It was hilarious.
He kept trying to give his credit card to the girl that worked behind the counter. And like, he's like, no, you have to do the thing. Like, I don't want to do it. This thing's stupid.
Yeah. So he's there. Next thing you know, Paul White comes up right beside him. So like literally like within 10 feet, I have Mark Henry and Paul White. And then Leva Bates shows up right beside him. And like, so you had all 3 of them right there trying to help Mark Henry figure out how to order these damn hot dogs. And then here comes Thunder Rosa walking up over there because we're right by that section. Thunder Rosa is right there. She didn't have her face painted at that time. She just had glamour makeup and was as gorgeous as ever. You know, so it was like, oh my God, there's Thunder Rosa, you know, it's like, and I wouldn't think because I'm trying to get my food, you know, it's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. So that was really cool.
But then we thought about it because it's like, so the concourse at the arena is the Cable Dom Arena. It's where there's a minor league hockey team that lives there. You know, it doesn't go all the way around. It's a U basically. It's like a horseshoe. It cuts off at either end. So it cuts off at either end and it goes all the way around like this. This backside here, there's locker rooms, you know, storage facilities, you know, Zamboni, garage, the whole 9 yards. Well, behind this curtain at the end of this U, which is right where this kiosk or this food stand was, which is right next to the stairs to our section, was where the wrestlers were coming out. That's where their locker room was. So they were just kept coming poking out their heads. We saw Sean Dean came out there, and you know, it was cool. It was really cool, actually. It redeemed the whole merch table debacle.
Yeah. Then we get to our seats, and then the show begins, and that's when the magic happened, ladies and gentlemen. It was so much fun. So, like, we got to watch Dark Elevation, so...
No spoilers,
but we did see Ruby Soho in action. Hi, Ruby. Bam! Got it first.
What? I've already done it twice. You just feel like you try to do gimmick infringement, thinking it's going to get under my skin.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Because you can't get it before I do. And like if you like, remember I gave my first Hey Ruby about 5 minutes into this episode. Doesn't so. Count. Try me. No, it definitely does. Don't you worry about that.
We got to see that. So we got to see Ruby. We got to see the Dark Order. We did get to see Dean Alexander in action, which was great. The Kansas City, Kansas.
Super over too. Local boy
over. It was awesome. Elevation was great.
It was some of the best dark wrestling I think we've seen.
And then the Acclaim came out and Max Caster's rap was amazing. And from Kansas City, I'm like, oh shit, that hurts, but it's so damn good. So it will be on there.
Check out Dark Elevation on Monday because he dug in deep, and the match he was in was a lot of fun. What do you think? Is that some of the best just in general dark wrestling you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple really quick matches, which was fine. Like poor Dan the Dad. But But there was some
That
really
served
good
a
stuff.
purpose, and you had Riho we got to see, and we got to see like 6 matches in an hour.
Yeah, it was great. Like it was fun.
It was cool. I really enjoyed it, honest to God. And I'm not usually that big into dark wrestling because the matches usually aren't that great, right?
Yeah.
Or they have them like afterwards, and you're just tired because you've been at the stadium on your feet for the last 4 hours.
Yeah.
And no, this was great. This was fantastic. Loved it.
Yeah. So let's just get to Dynamite. So I'm just gonna run through the card real quick, and then we are just gonna talk about like what we liked about this stuff.
Pieces.
So
sure.
the very first match was Allin Angels and Kenny Omega. If you don't know, Kenny Omega wins. Then after that, you had the AAA Tag Team Championships of Samurai Del Sol, Kalisto, and Aerostar versus FTR with Tully Blanchard. FTR retained. And then after that, you had Jamie Hayter and Anna Jay. Very good match. We can talk about this in just a second. And Jamie Hayter actually pulled that one off. And then not the main event, which I found very, very interesting.
Very interesting.
This match, I want to talk about this match. But Cody Rhodes versus Andrade El Idolo, and Andrade wins. But I want to get to that when we get into
we'll get the details in a moment.
Then the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament semifinal match of Orange Cassidy versus not Jon Moxley now, but yes, the Forsaken Champion, the Redeemer, the one who wants love, Miro. And Miro wins and he advances. So it's going to be Miro versus Brian Danielson. I had it right the first time. Damn it.
Good Lord.
So,
I guess the hippie dude from Washington.
Yes,
yeah, go.
Yes. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the card itself. So what's something you'd like to talk about first? Like, what's one of the things that grabbed you?
I want to talk about, because it is a little bit different being at the live show when they're doing promos. Promos that were there. So you had a promo, like you had a quick promo later on in the show, John Silver, because he's facing off against Adam Cole. Excuse me. He faces up against Budge on Friday. So he came out and did that. But yeah, other promos that were taped. There's a fabulous Malachi Black promo at Cody. But they're always different and weird. Some of the ones that are there because you're watching them up on the monitor, just like okay, right, same thing as you do on TV or your phone. So, but whatever. So you had some of those promos, but I didn't want to talk about like the promo of the night. Okay. Well, there's I won't say the promo of the night. But kind of the one of the first promos. There's 3 big promos there. So you had America's Top Team and the Inner Circle.
So good.
Which we'll talk about later. Then you had another one we'll talk about later. It involves MJF. But the first real promo of the night was after the first match. You had CM Punk came out, and typical fashion, crowd's amped. CM Punk comes out. He does the whole thing. And he's a lot more serious, right? He's got the seriousness going on, and he opens up with a very real moment, talking about Moxley. And it's the first time it's been addressed publicly to the crowd or to the thing. Tony Khan came out ahead of time and talked to all of us, right? But this is the first time that it's been touched publicly within canon of AEW. Mm-hmm. So it was very cool. And then he pivoted into Eddie Kingston. And I know you're not loving this at all.
I
am.
I want to see it. Don't get me wrong. I want to see them fight, but I feel like it's very forced and rushed. We need to find a pay-per-view opponent for CM Punk because CM Punk has to be on our pay-per-view. Who do we get? Eddie, what are you doing? Come here. This is the thing.
I actually don't think they're going to fight at Full Gear. And here's why. I listened to Bully Ray was talking about this on Busted Open last week, over the weekend, recently. And he's of the same opinion as I am. And he said, here's what you do. These 2 guys, you don't have them touch each other for 3 months. You can, this is a good seed that was planted. If they just go into a match and it's over with it at Full Gear, I will eat crow. I agree with you. It was just kind of thrown together. If they don't do that, because we got to see CM Punk for the first time with fire in his eyes, right? Not full heel Punk, but, fuck you, I'm not here to play Punk.
Yeah.
And
that got me amped.
good.
Yeah, it got me amped.
So if they can keep this string being, pulled out of this sweater for the next couple months, right? Go to Revolution if you want, or leave it. They're doing a big January pay-per-view because that's the new thing in wrestling, right? So everyone New Year's you do a pay-per-view right away, right? WWE's doing it, New Japan, everybody's fucking doing it now. So. I think it's got that potential because it was good to see the fire in Punk back, the fiery Punk, not just hey, I'm here and I love you guys, Punk.
Okay, I will give you that because he did get fiery about it, and they're gonna have a face-to-face at Rampage, but I don't think
he's
they're
gonna
wrestling.
be in St. Louis,
but I don't think they're wrestling because it's a face-to-face.
Good. You don't give, this is what I agree with what Bully said. Don't give that away yet. Let this stew. And then when it happens, it'll be magic. The two guys can perform. Yeah. You don't have to worry about that. Make it be magic. So that's my first note here. What was your first note?
My first note, that's a tough one. So I think my very first thing I want to talk about was the Kenny Omega match. Right after Kenny got on the mat, on the mic, and that was the piece that I think I enjoyed the most out of the whole, because the match was fantastic. I think we all know this.
That was great. Allin Angels looked really good. He keeps getting so much better every week, and he looks like he's bulking up too. Am I mistaken?
He's looking a little beefy. He's must be working on John Silver.
He's getting that creatine going. All right, cool.
So when Kenny says that he embarrassed him and tells Nakazawa to give him a chair, and he plans on injuring him, and that's when Hangman comes out, and I love this moment, and I even said it while we were there. Hangman picked up the title, and I'm like, this is the moment you pick up the title, not like that bullshit Christian Cage did when he first showed up and didn't deserve it. That's what pissed me off about the whole Christian Cage. Christian Cage soured me right then and there because he didn't deserve to pick up that title at that point. And now I'm cool with Christian Cage.
Before his feud with the title holder. Yes. So why would you? Yeah.
So now I'm cool. I'm cool with Christian Cage now. But it took me a while because I held that grudge hard for a hot minute. But this is the moment. And then, we held it up, and he's like, hey, you left something, but I'm going to be nice, and he gave it to him. He's like, you got 10 days to hold on to this. I was like, you get 10 more days. And then it's like, it was so good. It was just so damn good.
It's gotta happen. The women's, going on that path, the women's match, I thought it was weird because the women's match, it came to a point, I think when the crowd was wanting to settle down, and so they actually gave us a very good match, but it didn't have a lot of it was a little more ground and technical oriented, which I think is good for both of them because they're both actually experience-wise young wrestler, right? I think Anna Jay famously has been in this for now 2.5 years, if that. Yeah. In wrestling, which is amazing considering where she's at. This was the third of 4 first round matches in the TBS tournament title. And Jamie Hayter looked good, but she didn't really get over a ton. But the crowd was definitely into the match as a wrestling match, which I enjoy.
1,000%.
And that's why I keep saying we need to have 2 women's matches. God damn it, because we got to see 2 women's matches on Elevation. But I said there was 6 matches in an hour in Elevation, so got to see Ruby in there. Hey Ruby, got to see a few other women as well. I was no spoilers, but. They had just the one match. And what did they do with it after it was won? So that's the good. The good was the match, right? You enjoyed the match too.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was great. It was... I'm a sucker for a good technical wrestling match, and this one definitely had a lot of those aspects. It was honestly I again pointed this out Jamie Hayter changed her hair back to her hair when she was in Stardom, when she was amazing. So maybe this is a start for her because she did look really good. I can't talk enough about how strong their women's division is truly getting. It's getting stronger and
Right.
stronger every time that they let these women go, because the crowd has been basically begging for it.
We have. And here's the part. Here's my down to that. Because here's what they did afterwards. So because you had Britt and you had Rebel out at ringside. So after the match was over, Jamie Hayter won. They go inside to beat up Anna Jay Moore, right? Cool. Which eventually brings out Tay Conti, who looked fabulous, by the way. It's not even fair how much she progresses, every single day. It's like it's almost like when we saw her at NXT Live when she was still there in NXT. She was almost like a child, and now she feels like she's got more confidence. She looks fantastic. But she comes out to make the save on her bestie, but still, she gets beat down. And then there's another save by Thunder Rosa comes out here. And this is my argument. Is like, that's how you kind of cram them all for airtime, because you do legitimately have a good women's division now.
Yeah.
You've got talent. You've got young talent that can rise up into it. Anna Jay, Jamie Hayter, right? But you've got established talent in there. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose. And you've got the talent that has risen up to that main event level, like Tay Conti. Give them another place to shine rather than just cram them in as a run-in so that they get on the screen for the week, right? That's my problem. That's my argument.
Don't disagree.
But it was good to see them. But it just we got to see Thunder. I think we saw Thunder Rosa for as much time in the Dynamite show as we saw her out at the catering stand.
Yeah, like legit.
Which I hate to even use that word, but yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah, funny.
So that was my next bit.
Yeah. So
you want to talk? What else did you want to talk about?
I really want to talk about Andrade El Idolo versus Cody.
You want to do Andrade, then you want to do Inner Circle?
Yes. Yeah, I figure we could end on Inner Circle because it was just.
All right, we'll push that back. So let's do Andrade and Cody.
So Cody versus Andrade was just holy shit. Like that's the only way I can put it.
It felt like a pay-per-view match. It really did.
It had pace. It had guts to it. It had some nuts to it. You know what I mean? Like
it's like gravity.
Yeah, there you go. It was just so damn good. Like there was a Three Amigos moment, but we didn't get the shoulders or anything like that. But it was just so damn good. Like everything was great. FTR interfered towards the end, so Andrade could, win with his DDT that he uses, which I don't like it that much, but whatever.
You don't like the hammerlock? No.
I mean, it's old school, and I appreciate the old school about it, but it just takes forever to set up. Like I like quick hitter finishers. Like that's why I've always liked the rock bottom. I've always liked the stunner because they're quick hitters, like out of nowhere type things, like the diamond cutter or RKO or whatever you want to call it. Everybody does a cutter these days. I really like that style of quick hitter finisher. But you don't always have to win with.
I mean, it takes less time to set this up than it does a one-winged angel.
I know that's fair.
But to me, it's not the best. I don't think it's the best looking finisher.
That might be my beef.
And Tay Conti does her version of the exact same thing, hammerlock DDT. And I like it when she does like the flippy spinny kick thing, better, because that's a better looking finisher. She the tie KO instead of the DD tie.
Yes.
Right? I think it looks better. And I think that Andrade's got so much in his repertoire, and he looked amazing. He was countering wonderfully with him. Like Cody does a little thing where he kind of goes to the corner, he bumps himself up and over the ropes and lands on the apron. And at the same time, Andrade flips over in the middle of the ring on the apron and meets him there, So they actually played super well off each other.
So,
but a better finisher would be appreciative. I agree.
Yeah, and so there was a moment though that I was like, oh my God, this would be such a great moment to like do a nod to your fiance. And he put Cody Rhodes into the figure four. And I thought this would have been a great moment for him to bridge it and make it a figure eight, like she does. And he
Yeah.
didn't. He just stayed with the figure four. And I'm still thinking, like, man, he could totally do that. Like, if they go at it again, he could totally bridge it and get him to tap with it. That would be so
Could
good.
he do it though? That's a bridge when you're already locked in like that. You have to be stupid flexible. Can he bridge in that fashion while in a figure four?
I think he can.
Against a similarly sized man too.
Well, you're just pulling up their legs a little bit. You're not pulling up the man.
I hear you.
I mean,
but that's my only question. That's my only question. I don't know if he could physically. If he can, he should. I agree with you.
Then after the match, you had FTR come in because they helped knock Cody out with their AAA belts. Which I thought was great. And Tully's hugging him and everything. And then here come the Lucha Bros. Because, they're getting ready to, they're starting to attack Cody. And the Lucha Bros come out, which I don't know if you noticed, but Penta had a face mask on and it wasn't his mouth. Did you notice that? Because I noticed that.
Was it like part of his mask, or was it like a face mask along with
like
his
a face
mask?
mask over it, so like he didn't paint his face because he's just doing a quick run in. So he just threw that on.
That makes sense.
I think,
or
it wasn't even him because he wore a whole thing like it maybe wasn't even him.
I think it was him.
I think it was too, but I'm just saying it felt like him.
Okay, well, I mean, it makes sense. I get it. Maybe he just like, I don't want to paint my face. I'll just put the thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
and once again, it was to get them airtime. Cool. It was great. It was whatever. Cody Rhodes is definitely, you're going on the whole Codelander thing. And I'm disagreeing with you because I think that being there summed it up because it was split. You got to admit, there definitely was splittage in that arena. It was not 100% everybody hates Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, it's a strong 60-40.
Okay, all right, whatever. It was split, and it was a definite split. Cody Rhodes is the AEW John Cena.
That's well said. I don't want to agree with that.
Why?
But I will.
I know you don't. But you look at it in its whole microcosm. That's why I don't think the Codelander thing will happen.
It needs to though.
It should. I know it should. It should. I hear you. But anyway,
I just appreciate that you're saying Codelander. You're helping make it happen. Hashtag Codelander.
I'm not opposed to that. I just don't think it'll happen. I just don't think it'll go to fruition.
Okay. So people listening at home, do you like the term Codelander? Because it's like Homelander, but it's Cody Codelander. Do you like it? Because if you do, I'll keep using it. If you don't, I'll probably still keep using it, but I'll at least say, I understand why you say that, but I'll continue to say it. Just let me know. Comment.
This is a man who's been trolling Jeremy Wyatt for 3+ years about doing a lion tamer. So he won't stop it once he gets something in his ear, in his mindset.
And the moment he actually does one, oh my God, just look out. Like I'll take it to. I'm already at like a solid 7. That'd be easily an 11. Like as soon as he starts walking out, lion tamer.
Yeah. Well, we believe we saw Jeremy Wyatt along with Hoodie Howlett, Anaya, and several other Journey Pro because MJF came out, say 3/4 of the way through the show, sounds about right, and did a pretty. It was a typical good fire shoot promo that he gave without being as cheeky and campy as he has been recently, towards the local crowd and stuff like that, right? It was him by himself, very direct. Darby was actually in like one of the back corner of the arena, right? Kind of like huddled up in like an area by like some stairs or whatever, right? So he actually came out and shot a fantastic promo right there in the middle of the ring, really going at him and talking about the whole pillar talk and how they're the only two that matter and of the 4 pillars. All this young stuff, they don't matter. And, why? It's because all these fans like you. And so he's a great promo, which led to, him saying how much better of a wrestler he is than Darby, and how Darby can't beat him wrestling. And Darby's like, you will see, because you had full gear. I will get me as the wrestler, but tonight I'm gonna beat your ass. So he starts making a run in, and as he starts to kind of get down the stairs, Darby's like, MJF's like, yeah, good luck with it, buddy. I'm out of here. So he starts to book it out, right? Met by Sting coming out from the tunnel. Which draws him, and then of course they get fighting, and they went to town on each other in the crowd. Sting got neutralized because after he pushed back MJF and kind of initially, then they had this like just row of people all black with a Darby Allin, like one of those face masks, the flat face mask thing, right? And they just started following Sting to the ring to chase MJF back all the way, right? And so it appeared as though that's where a lot of like local wrestling talent was being used as like, you know, extras. So the rest of the Inner Circle comes out, and that kind of, you know, not Inner Circle, the Pinnacle. So that neutralized that. But they just went at each other. It was great to see. It felt like a good old school promo, because not Darby, MJF, he's fantastic on the mic. We talked about it a lot, you especially. But he gets a little campy at times, you know, kind of, you know, hey, fat girl, you know, this and that, you know, your mom and jokes and all this stuff. And this wasn't it. This is just an old school, just straight shoot promo that led to some really good street fight type stuff. I mean, at one point in time, he put him on the back side of the barricade where the fans were, went all the way down. It's on like the large end of the floor seats, and then like Moses spread the sea of the aisle and just ran full tilt, probably 30 yards, right into him. And I mean, damn near like broke through. They tumbled over, but it looked so good, some of the stuff. So tonight got me more excited for that match than I have been previously, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that match a lot. So that one should be pretty good. But I feel like we need to end it with the promo of the night.
I will. Miro was fantastic. It looked like he was going to squash him at first. Turned out to be a really great main eventer. Miro. Danielson was a commentary, so they did a little thing. But yeah, for not having Moxley anymore, for the time being, Miro, and I love this. Before you move into that, Jamie, I love the prospect of Miro being the one that hands Danielson his first loss, and then being in the picture, Miro and Hangman.
Oh.
I know, right? I know.
Ooh.
Okay. So I just want to plant that seed.
I want that.
Yes.
Yep.
I do too. All right. So go. Inner Circle.
Okay. Oh, I want to talk about Inner Circle.
This is probably the fun.
Yeah, no, it's good.
You know, the Inner Circle was probably the fun part, the fun highlight of the night, to be honest with you.
It was, and it was such a fun promo, and it was just great. So the Inner Circle comes out, and, you know, they're all, of course, just loving it up because Sammy won against Ethan, all ego, Ethan Page, and they get to pick the members of the America's Top Team. We'll put a pin in that. So then here comes the Man of the Year with America's Top Team and one Dan Lambert. And oh my God, the crowd was all over him.
It's hard at times when you're in the crowd. I feel like it's hard at times to know how loud you're actually being when you're doing some of these chants and cheers, because you're participating in it and you hear your own voice. So it's like, is this really? Apparently, no. We stopped him dead cold at least a half a dozen times in his from our chants.
Like we did a "shut the fuck up" chant. That was probably the best.
A long one. Yeah, there was a dipshit chant. Yeah. There was
fat face dipshit.
A bunch.
There was a dipshit. Fat face dipshit, shut the fuck up. Like, it was just amazing. But
so many.
Dan Lambert, you know, he comes out and he's like, you know, I started this thing 25 years ago, so you could call me the first member of the America's Top Team. I started it, everything like that. I'll put a pin in that. So then all right, it's selection time. We already know the men of the year are automatically locks in it, and then they can pick out the rest of America's top team. So they have 3 people to select.
Which he gives a little bio on every one of the ones. There's 4 actually.
Yeah,
there's like the 2.
There was Junior Dos Santos,
former UFC. Yeah, you know him better than I do.
Junior Dos Santos and Andre Arlovsky. Then you had Paige Van Zandt's husband. Husband.
Yep.
I can't remember his name.
The dude with the neck tattoos.
Yeah, shit. What's his name?
It don't matter. It don't
matter. And then some other random new guy who just decided to show up. I don't even know who this guy is. And the funny thing is neither did Jericho.
Jericho didn't know either.
Which got me just dying. Like, it got me going. So here we go with this whole thing. And oh God. So
Hager starts.
Yeah, so Hager starts. Hager wants Junior Dos Santos. And he says that he gets a quick little promo. Then Santana Yes.
Santana. Santana's the big one. Ortiz is the shorter one.
Santana calls out Andre Arlovsky, which I'm like, oh my God. He's like, because he has the teeth thing. He's like, you want to bite these? Bite this. He grabs his dick, which I thought was great. And then Jericho's getting ready to go, and then Paige Van Zandt goes, I can beat you guys. I can whoop your ass. She actually cut a decent promo, but then
It was not bad.
It was pretty good. And then she legit says, I could take on all 5 of you.
I could take all 5 of you by myself.
And then, of course, the
whole crowd is like, wait, what'd you just say?
Yeah. Everybody's like, what? And then Jericho was like, so you say you could take us all 5 of us on at once? Everybody.
What's that going to be on? What's that going to be on your OnlyFans?
Yeah, so damn good. So they don't pick her. Ortiz calls her a bitch, which I thought was great. But the third member...
Well, Ortiz had a big, long thing, and then Sammy translated. Sammy, who's Cuban descent but doesn't speak a lick of Spanish, said, he just called you a bitch.
Yeah. So, right after that, they don't pick her. They pick the first member of America's Top Team. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Lambert is going to be a part of this 10-man tag. So you have this is America's Top Team. You have the Men of the Year of All Ego Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. You have Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos, and Dan Lambert.
Whew. Like, I was disappointed because the prospect of having Paige Van Zandt in there, and we are still in agreement, Jamie and I are, Paige Van Zandt's going to wrestle, even if it is a little bit. She's going to wrestle in this company. She's been flirting with the idea of doing it anyway for a while. I think you'll get her in a couple matches in the women's division, some stuff cool. Or maybe a short run, who knows, right? But I was amped at the thought that it's going to be her in the 10-person street fight. Like, that's ballsy. That's really ballsy. I like it. And then it's not going to be her. Like, that's going to be her fucking husband. And it's like, okay, whatever. Like, oh, wait. Dan Lambert's. Oh, the possibilities are great. Like, it's a street fight, so they're going to have stupid, ridiculous spots set up all over the place. It's going to be fantastic. I'm all about this.
Yeah. No, it's...
Give it to me.
It was great. The crowd was all in this. Like, after we're done with this show tonight, I'm gonna rewatch. I want to watch because I want to see if we're on TV. Because there's a few times, like, because we were like in section 117, so like, when you're looking across because we're on the TV, like, we're on the TV side. Like, you would see us looking at the TV.
We face the cameras. Yeah. The cameras are on.
Yeah, we'd be on the left side, and then
the left of the stage.
There you left. Like, as you're looking at your TV screen, we'll be on your left. And you just have to look for the blue Spotfest Club shirt. And then you found us. Mm-hmm. But we'll be, the easiest way I found is, like, because we were diagonal from the post. Like post to post, we were diagonal. We had a great view of the post. So that's how, I know that there's a couple times that CM Punk was on TV. I saw my shirt up there, so I know we were there. So
we made it on TV one way or another. So you don't have to work tomorrow, so you get to stay up as long and late as you want tonight. Watch that.
Probably going to.
I'll probably check it out tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, see if you can find us. Where are you going with that? You were going somewhere.
No, I was just like, I'm just gonna watch it again because I want to see that, and and honestly, it'll give us a great opportunity to hear exactly how loud the Kansas City crowd was because,
that's it's hard to gauge when you're in there, because
I love Kansas City crowds, and we're not Philadelphia, we're not that loud. To be honest, we're not even a Chicago crowd, and Chicago's. But I think we're the number 3 crowd, like legit. I mean, we are the home of the loudest NFL stadium in the world. We're the loudest outdoor stadium in the world. We know how to get loud. We definitely know how to get loud. But I would say we're the 3rd loudest crowd. Like, because I've been at Raws and stuff back in the heyday. Man, that place was deafening. So that crowd was hot.
Well, I've been at other things too. I mean, I've been to Blues games in St. Louis, whereas you can't even feel anything because it's so fucking loud. And I'm not gonna make any bold claims like you are about where we rank on the number of loudness, but I will say this: we're not what is traditionally known as a strong wrestling market.
We should be though,
right? There is history. We have a rich history of wrestling. Thank you, Harley Race. Yeah, and those old days of stuff, territory times, and things like that. But in the modern era, we're not considered a traditional stronghold of wrestling. So that's why I'm always extra pride going to these shows, making sure that we be as loud as possible. And I'm with you. I want to see. It's hard to gauge when you're there, right? It's very hard to tell how loud was it. How loud was it? Really? 'Cause it sounded loud while we were there. It sounded loud as shit. But,
and if you weren't there and you're listening to us, send us a tweet. Give us a comment here on YouTube as well. How loud was it? Like, how loud did you think we were? I know. My voice is a little scratchy. I've been drinking some water while we're doing this, just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm reaching about the end of my voice, so I'm going full Barry White here in about 5 minutes.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely a lower register. Darling. I'm definitely a lower register than I usually am, but
it's scratchy. It's like here. You get in the jowls. You get the thing.
I think MJF is he's a dick. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jake, for making an appearance. So, lots of other good stuff happening too. Like I said, we didn't cover every little bit of it, but if you haven't checked it out, go watch it. I thought it was a fantastic episode. I really want to see the other side of things too, because when you're there, it's always a little bit different. Your opinion of it.
Yeah, because like I'm looking, because I pulled up this thing too. It's like I didn't even know Matt Sydal and Lee Moriarty were talking to Dante Martin and Leo Rush at all. Didn't even know that happened.
So yeah, there's
stuff that definitely.
Once again, the promo things that you see on TV are the weird part, because it happens at times when there'll be like a long post match thing where somebody's because we were right around the corner too, where most everybody at least 2/3 of all the wrestlers kind of went back to the locker room, right? So they came by us and got a big pop as they're going by, and there's probably stuff playing on the TV, but we didn't, whatever, it's like, if it's not happening in front of us, it's hard to tell shit's happening. So, well, we will be back next Thursday. Once again, we're moving to once weekly for the podcast here. If you object to that, you like us doing 2 times a week, tell us, let us know. Comment, tweet, DM, whatever. I don't even know how to do it. But put a note on a t-shirt you buy from TotalSpotfest.com. I don't know. Just let us know one way or another if you don't like that, if you think it's a good idea. We're always taking constructive criticism and direction too. If there's stuff you guys want us to focus more on, please let us know. Stuff that you want us to stop talking so damn much about. definitely let us know, right? So we've heard a lot from, people that our followers and our listeners and everything, and we definitely focus more on AEW stuff. So that's also kind of facilitating this tweak here. So we will not be back on Thursday. We'll be back next.
No, we will be back on Thursday, but not on
starting
Tuesday.
over again. We will not be back on Tuesday. It's later than usual. Like I said, I got the Barry White going on. We will not be back on Tuesday next week. Just Thursday. So for the foreseeable future, we're just going to release just on Thursdays, but all in the same place you see it already. YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts at, plus YouTube. It'll be there. Episodes are all available on our website if you want to go there as well. Easy peasy. Thursdays, though. Thursdays moving forward. So, Jamie, any final thoughts? Any wrap up you want to do for Dynamite?
It was a great show. I'm so thrilled that I, in secret, went. My kids didn't even know. Still don't know, unless they listen to the show, which I hope they do.
So there you go. Despite the somewhat petty bickerings that we had, because
you're right.
Especially the merch table was a little petty. Let's be honest. Okay, that was a little petty. I know that. I wanted the goddamn tie. If I could just buy the shirt on shopaew.com, it'd be fine, but I can't. That's what pisses me off. Petty, I know. Despite some of our petty grievances and nitpickiness about, the pre-show things, it doesn't matter. This was a fantastic time. And besides the show itself, getting to be so close and hang out with some wrestlers and actually shake the hands of some of the wrestlers, right? Get pictures, do this. The show was great. AEW crowd, and we talked about this post All In, that one of our biggest takeaways, if you want to go back and listen to our post All Out, it is late. I'm sorry. I'm almost done here. I promise. Our post All Out show was the AEW family and how it really had that feel. And once again, I felt that tonight. You didn't feel like you were in an arena with a bunch of strangers watching a sporting event, like usually wrestling is, right? Like, everybody was cool as hell. Like, shit, this one guy, he had to keep running in and out, of our road. He's like so apologetic, and he's like, all right, I'm getting a beer. You guys good? And what you want? That doesn't happen normally. You don't have somebody who's just like some stranger that's sitting down the road from you just be like, oh, I'm sorry. How about I just buy you a beer for shits and giggles, right? And everybody was cool. Everybody was very open. Everybody was just, that's one of the things, too. It's good to have that again. It's universal. It transfers. It's the AEW family, so don't ever change.
Yes, please, please.
All right, we will see you next Thursday. Jamie, take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got one word for you. Budge.
Fantastic. All right, guys, take care.
Peace.